Don't ask any questions, y'all. Don't. I don't know what's happening, but it's happening.
Oh,
Y'all pray for me as we
Please.
get these things going, because I'm definitely in need of prayer. Lord have mercy. What is going?
Yes.
Don't touch any buttons, folks. Here's the life lesson right now. If you're doing a professional show, audio, video, whatever the case may be, make sure you don't do any testing 8 minutes before you go live with these. You know, when you call in these big wigs like this, man, you can't be messing around. And that's what I was doing. So I apologize. First and foremost, I apologize. I don't even know if we're live like on everyone's channel like we're supposed to be. So I may have to send you guys the isolated file. So just that being said,
I don't know what we're doing.
That being said, here we go. We're going to have a conversation. Technologist Forum. Today is early December. We're getting ready for the holidays. I know we're doing what we got to do. I'm going to let the Jim's over there on Amazon right now. He was doing some live selling this morning, so he's probably over there still buying microphones. I'm not mad at you. Not mad at you at all.
So funny.
Let's do this. All right. Conversation today is, and I want to pick you guys' brains. I want to go a little bit deeper into the dialogue as well. I sent you kind of the questions. First time I've ever actually written the questions down. So maybe that's why I'm off kilter. It's not just off the.
Well, if it helps, I didn't read them.
Well,
me either. I don't know what we're talking about today.
I almost called you something, boy. I almost said something. I almost got a little censored just now. I want to talk about tomorrow's creator economy today. I want to talk about the state of the content creation ecosystem, what has worked, what hasn't worked in this year of 2025, and how we're going to progress and get better for 2026. That's the premise of the conversation. I see folks jumping in. Florence, appreciate you for being here, my friend. Tell somebody to join, because it's going to be a good conversation. So put it out to your school community, put it out to everyone else, Lawrence, if you don't mind, sis. We're gonna go ladies first, but the first question that I want to ask, and unfortunately y'all didn't read the question.
Nope.
Trifling, boy.
We're flying by the seat of our pants.
I'm not. I'm just disheveled. But I'm on point. Let me ask you this: what strategies or formats are giving you the biggest traction right now, and which ones, in your opinion, are dead? And when I say formats, I'm talking long form. I'm talking short form. We were talking offline a little bit about vertical versus horizontal. So Tanya, I want to start with you. You know, what formats are giving you the biggest traction as it relates to content creation at this part of the year, at this end part of the year?
For me, it is the mix. There's not one specific format. Because, I love my live streams. I love doing the long form, but mixing it up with like having a diversity of content is what's winning the day for me. So I have now incorporated AI clips from Sora 2, plus clips from my longer live streams, plus the live stream itself, right? The repurposing aspect of the live streams used to work a lot more, but now, even though I still repurpose, I repurpose differently. So I'll take concepts and actually create new video clips that have nothing to do with the original live stream, as far as like, it's not pulling from the original content, but the ideas and the concepts from the original content are still in that AI clip. So the mix is what's working for me right now. And Facebook, honestly, if we're going to talk about social platforms at all, that for me has been the jam. It's my Facebook personal profile with the professional mode turned on. Yeah.
Talk about that delineation or that differentiation, because again, I don't want to just assume that folks know. I think Jim and I obviously know about that, but turning on those additional filters, turning those additional options, and maybe if you have to buy for additional level of support with Meta. But talk about the professional mode and what that gives you.
So I don't pay Meta right now.
I just stopped my subscription yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, because I bought it because I did want the additional level of support, which I never got when I needed them. So what I've done, so in your personal profile, so you have 3 options basically with Facebook right now, or Meta. You have and specifically inside of Facebook, so not Instagram and all that. You have the Facebook groups. You have the Facebook profile, which is your personal. And then you have the Facebook page, which usually people use that for their company or their business. And so with the personal profile, as of, I don't know if it's been more than a year, but a while ago, they were rolling out the option for you to turn on something called professional mode.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned that on because I'm thinking, hey, I get a lot of traction in my personal profile anyway, because that's where most of the people that I've met tend to connect. And I don't mind mixing up my personal life and things that are happening with me, with my kids, with my family, in addition to some business promo. And so professional mode has added an extra layer, and it gives you metrics, and you're able to schedule posts now. That's fairly recent. You're able to schedule posts from your personal profile. Now, you can't really use third-party tools to do all that, but doing it, turning on that feature has been just phenomenal for me to get reach. And you can get paid from your reels and from certain content that is getting traction.
That was the draw to me, but I'm gonna be transparent. My little meta deposits haven't
$2,
the math hadn't been mathing.
$2.33.
Right, the math hadn't been mathing for me to have the check mark, right? To have
Yeah,
the verified account. So I said, Lord, listen, I can't do it. So I'm just gonna keep
yeah,
doing the professional mode though. But instead of being a verified account,
yeah,
we lose the ability to have like some links or something like in our reels. I think that was the main thing that I really liked about being verified. But
yeah.
yeah, my little
I'm
$2
doing
checks.
okay. I'm gonna get my $2 and not have to pay $3 back.
Okay, okay. I'm, again, the math wasn't math, and I had to sit down and have a conversation with myself. But what I'm saying is different than professional mode. I'm just being facetious, so folks don't get it confused. I'm just here heckling. Professional mode is definitely something you want to turn on if you're using meta platforms for content creation. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, all right. Um, so long form and short form, because obviously you do your long form, and then let's talk
Yeah.
about some of the platforms, because you mentioned Sora as well, and I'm seeing you just killing it on Sora. We're gonna get to you, Jim. Don't get too comfortable. We're gonna get to you. Well, let's talk about the platforms as well, because I think there's so many out there, but I think there's value in hearing who folks that are already well versed in these platforms, what you're using. So Sora 2, you said, is one that's definitely on your list that you're using on a daily basis.
Yeah, I like it because it comes with, if you have Chat GPT, then you have Sora, right? You have
Yeah,
Sora too. I don't know if I ended up on the edge there. Can
you
you
did
see me?
that. Yeah, you did
Oh,
that.
I didn't do that. I haven't touched anything. See, why am I
See,
getting
this
blamed?
is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you got producers
I didn't touch it.
and directors show up. They want to zoom themselves in. They want to
Uh-uh.
update their own gamma, their own LUTs. We were talking
You
LUTs.
don't
Yeah,
get
I'm
to
throwing her
blame
out
me.
there. You see,
You don't get to blame
I
me.
got this. Don't worry
Back
about
to
it.
Sora.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't even have my virtual cam on. So, Sora 2. If you have ChatGPT, if you've got an open AI account anyway, you have Sora 2 available to you. And now I believe it doesn't require an invite. So if you go to sora.chatgpt.com/explore, I think that's the quickest way to go and get access. And when you do, you get to just play around. I mean, I have had
Lord
just
have
so much
mercy.
fun. What?
Look who.
I'm having fun.
Well, look who
Who's that?
pops up. I know this isn't
Oh, I'm
random.
on
I know it's
Explore.
not random, but of course, who pops up right there on the top there? Okay.
A couple of people have been telling me they've been seeing that. Yeah, and it's just so fun. It's creative. It's different. You can put yourself in all kinds of different scenarios and situations. I was in the Matrix. I've been in the Matrix a couple of times. You can do all kinds of really fun and creative stuff, but you can relate it back to your business. And that's
Yeah.
the thing for me is let me relate this back to my strategy and make it valuable, right? Not just let me be out here doing something, but let me do something with an offer in mind or with a call to action in mind. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. That's me in the Predator.
Ciao.
I have been having a blast with it. So yeah, we're actually going to be doing a class on next Monday playing around with Sora. So
That's dope. And I love the fact that you're doing it. You're finding how it meets and fits into your business. Uh, engages your community as well, and the fact that you're having fun that helps with
yeah.
getting burned out, or that helps with getting overwhelmed with doing all this and all this learning that we have to go through on a constant basis because there's so much
Mhm.
coming at us. The fact that you're having fun doing this, Lord have mercy, she's in Predator, she's in the Matrix. I
She's
think I
everywhere.
saw you in the Macy's Day Parade too on one of
I was
these.
singing in the Macy's Day Parade. I don't
Yeah.
know what they were doing because I'm actually a tenor, but it had me as a soprano up
Hey,
at
well,
the
we altos over here. We
Hey.
altos over here.
Oh gosh.
The show was completely off the rails, but this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when family gets together. Mr. Fuse, your thoughts? Because again, you're doing very, very similar, right? Leveraging multiple technologies, multiple platforms. What has worked for you? Because you stay in a different lane. You're kind of in that live selling lane for a majority of your activity. Right,
Yeah.
because you've got Dealcasters and you just did some streams this morning. But let me ask you again that same question. What strategies or formats are giving you the biggest traction this year? Is it long form? Is it short form? And then what platforms are you leveraging?
So I would say the one, well, so Substack for me has become,
Mm,
I'll say, my number one platform, and it's led to speaking opportunities. It's led to some workshops, and I'm seeing the growth in my subscriber base. I had a guy today that really appreciated. He sent me notes like, "Hey, I saw your stuff on YouTube and LinkedIn. I came over here. I love the articles you're writing about live streaming." I was like, "Wow, that's cool because I don't see that happening on other platforms." Now, obviously, Chris and I with Dealcasters, our YouTube has done great, but this is gonna be the one that cracks you up the most because I didn't expect this. As much as I talk bad about the M people, so for those of you that don't know, I am a retired Marine, and so my wife and I, on the Marine Corps' 250th birthday, which was November 10th, in case for those of you that don't know, but I know that Tanya knows because she's a Marine spouse as
ooh,
well. Um, we went to Philadelphia where the Marine Corps was born. And I was in this bar that right now is called Tun Tavern, which is where the Marine Corps was founded. And all I did is I literally took my phone and I went around in a circle with it for 30 seconds while we were singing the Marines hymn. And I posted that as a reel, right? Well, it started to gain some traction. And back in August, I had actually done another reel with the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps who used to work for me a long time ago, where he was like doing some cadence and just all this motivating stuff with all us old retired guys. So since November 10th of 2025, not 1775,
you're
I
not that old.
got 797,000 views on my Facebook page,
That's awesome.
and I got 41,000 interactions, and I got over 2,000 new followers. And here's the funnier part of it. My face isn't in either video. It's me sharing an experience. And so I found that interesting. And so what it has done though, I feel like, is now Facebook's showing more of my content because they saw, oh, people like this person's content. So I'm taking that for what it's worth, but I think I'm still taking it as I want to drive traffic to Substack and other places and not like, oh, now it's time for me to, start that Facebook group. I think when I see what Substack is doing, and I just posted a clip from the show Chris and I did earlier today. But the nice thing about these clips is now you can repurpose them. So I put it on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, I put it on Facebook, but I'm also telling people like, hey, here's what Substack's doing for you, right? This was done for me. They did a really good job of picking it out with their AI, and guess what? It cost me $0.00, and that's a pretty good deal.
Mhm.
So, I I mean, I realize everybody's got their opinions. I know, Tanya does a lot of really neat stuff, but for me, it's a place that there's still the ability for growth, and like I tell people, you still have the biggest thing to me that you're not getting on these other platforms is you're getting that email list.
Mhm.
And you don't have to just email people when you create a post. So like I said, you know what? Thanksgiving, I sent out an email to my subscriber list. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being a part of my community. That was it, right? There's no
Mhm.
sales, there's no, you know, click this to do that or this. And I think that's where I see community building as being the key. And I will say this, I've talked to some people that are doing stuff now on Substack, and LinkedIn is starting to frustrate people. And
Yep.
I don't know if it's
Hmm.
because LinkedIn doesn't know what it wants to be when it grows up. Um, so yeah, you can go live there, but I think to me the beauty of and so I guess part of your question, it's the longer form content that I like because I think you can then take it and create the
Yep.
quick clips that get people to go back. I want more. So I
Mhm.
think that's
Hmm.
what I like about it, as opposed to me sitting there like, gosh, I got to think of something to say in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And
I'm,
do it
I'm too
10
I'm too old
times
for that.
a day.
That's a great point. And before I forget, because I'm getting a little older in years and I forget things. Um, One of the main things that turned me on to Substack was the mobile app.
Hmm.
Right. So
Yeah.
again, you could be sitting in your car in the drive-through. You could be wherever, and you can quickly go live or record
Yep.
that quick moment that you want to share with your community. One thing I
Mhm.
want to I want to bounce back to. It's interesting that you both mentioned Facebook as I know the planet's on there. I know everyone on this planet is on there. Yeah, it's just that, and y'all know, y'all forgive me. Me and Mark Zuckerberg. I've said this so many times that I could put it on a T-shirt.
Uh,
We just don't get along. I just But again, you can't not see and realize the fact that again, everybody on the planet is on there. It's a viable platform for connecting. How I stay in contact with my family that's on the East Coast and things of that nature. But the fact that
mhm.
they're taking away functionality, they're deleting our live videos, they're deleting our content after X number of days. We don't
Mhm.
own anything on Facebook.
Mm.
I just
But you don't own anything on any of them. Can I do my
Hmm.
soapbox thing?
come on, come on.
Okay, look, this year is the year of being platform proof and
There we go. Come
algorithm
on.
independent.
There,
Okay?
there
So
we
we
go.
need to be algorithm agnostic, algorithm independent, platform proof, meaning that we need to stop relying on any of these social media platforms to be our champion or be our savior for any type of content. So my goal is to create high value content that can live anywhere I choose to be. And what
Boom.
I'm going to do is to maximize my visibility as best I can where I choose to play, but draw people back to my own real estate, which is my website, my blog, my podcast, my email list. That's the priority. So you're sure I'm going to live and play and well, not even live. I'm going to rent space on Facebook. I'm going to rent space on Substack, even LinkedIn, which is the bane of my existence. I'm just going to be honest. It's not my favorite place. I know there's going to be people that are going to be haters, but I don't love LinkedIn. Um, I'm going to play in those spaces and be visible and show up in those spaces, but my home is not there. I'm driving people back to my spaces. So, yeah, I mean, Facebook, exactly. Gabe said Facebook is another platform that can catch these hands.
You kind of jumped the shark though, because you said you didn't read the questions, but that's actually where we wanted to end with kind of that
Okay,
come to
well,
Jesus moment right there. So I do like that. Well, we're gonna pull it back a little bit, but
okay.
that's again. But at the end of the day, folks, at the TLDR, uh, that's where we're going to. as opposed to all of these platforms where we're renting space on. What do you own? What worked good this year? What's going to work even better moving forward is ownership and
Yeah.
controlling the direction and the type of content that goes out. So that's good stuff, folks. Okay, let's keep going. If you got any questions in the comments there, if you got any more funny stuff, like Gabe is over there. See, he's heckling. You know,
He's
Mr. LinkedIn himself is over there
I
heckling.
love him.
He ought to be ashamed of himself. Okay. And I'll put my bias away for Meta, just because again I'm no longer paying for any of that stuff. Uh, let's talk about building sustainability, though. Let's talk about something, Tanya, that you know about a lot, just from building systems. Um, what systems do each of you have in place today that allow you to stay consistent, though, when you have other things going on in life? Right, showing up for your weekly live stream, making sure you put out content on a regular, recurring basis
Mhm.
when everything else has to happen. What
Mhm.
kind of systems do you have in place? And these could be professional, these could be personal, these could just be Pomodoro, whatever the case may be. I'm just curious to know how you guys manage, as Florence Donna will say, those 1,440 minutes per day. Anyone can go first.
Oh, you wanna go? You want Jim to go first?
Either anybody.
Oh, okay.
I'll go. No, let Tanya, you go ahead. Always ladies first. I'm fine with that.
Well, you don't
Yeah.
always have to let me go first, but, you know,
That's good.
okay,
That's
I
a
got
good
something.
Marine right there. That's what that is. That's a good Marine. Home training is what he got.
I know. I love my Marines. Okay, so
Leaders eat last.
I
you
ain't
know,
there
my
yet.
husband says that too. Of course he does. Um, here's the thing. So at the core of everything I do, there is a trifecta. Okay. And this is something that I've been doing for years because I have literally run a dual career for 20 plus out of the 34 years that I've been in corporate. So I have had a dual career. I've had my business, which is darn near full time, in addition to a very demanding corporate job. My trifecta is this: every task, everything that I'm getting ready to do, it falls into one of these three buckets. Either I'm going to act on it, I'm going to assign it to someone else, or I'm going to automate it. The thing about where we are in this moment is that AI in particular has helped me to even be more expedient with the automation piece. So not only can I do, and I've always done things with efficiency and with discipline and commitment, because honestly, let's back up before the trifecta, you have to be committed to what it is you say you're going to do. And that's oftentimes that's the deal breaker for most people is they say they're going to do something, but they really don't mean it. You have to mean it. So once you're committed, then you need to figure out how am I going to get this work done? For me, that efficiency by using that three-part system, that's the main way that I'm able to get everything done. That's the framework. But the automation piece, stuff that I used to take hours to do, I can now do in minutes because of AI. So that's like an amplifier for the automate piece. I probably need to add a fourth bucket and just call it AI. But yeah, that's where I am. Frameworks.
My marketing hat is on right there. Again, I was thinking
I
about that,
know.
but okay, okay.
Hey,
So
fourth wall t-shirt.
y'all, I'll make one in a minute. Don't hold my beer, y'all. I'll make some products in a second. All right. So automation, leveraging AI the right way. Um, talk a little bit more about that. I want to go into that framework a little bit more, and then Jim, I'll let you kick it, because what you're doing, it kind of leads into the courses. I'm trying to tee it up here. The course that you're giving, I believe, this weekend as well. So let's
Oh
talk
yeah.
a little bit more. Let's not just be at the surface level. Let's dive just a little bit more.
Yeah. So the automation and the AI piece. So one of the things, for instance, that I have done over the years, and I want to make this practical and realistic for everybody, right? I don't believe that AI replaces all of my content. I know that there are a lot of people that are doing AI clones and all of that stuff, and I like that too. But what I really, really find to be effective is the mix. Again, going back to that mixture, that combination of reality driven content plus AI driven content. So what I do, I've been doing photo shoots for years where I like at least once a quarter will meet up with a photographer, my photographer, and go do a shoot, right? That stuff gets expensive and it still doesn't fill up the bucket enough to where I have daily content. What now I'm able to do is to take AI branded images and create extra content that I can use in between. So similar to what we were just talking about with the whole Sora 2 thing is I'm not saying that's replacing me because I still do video. I'm still on camera, but it's supplementing and giving me the ability to truly be available or somebody who's visible at 24/7 if I choose to. So the class that we're going to be doing, we did one class on this past Monday, which was amazing, on creating AI branded images. So images that look like you, that represent you when you're in between photo shoots. The class we're doing this coming Monday is about short AI video clips, and we're really going to go all in on some formulas and frameworks to using tools like Sora 2, again, to supplement the content you create. So that's what I mean is that now, I mean, it would take me a couple hours. I'd have to get ready, pack up my wagon, put my stuff in my car, put the makeup on, do the hair, drive an hour to the shoot location, do the shoot for an hour, and then drive an hour back. And so half your day is gone with that. Whereas now I can literally do AI photo shoots. 20 minutes later, I've got 100 photos.
Listen,
So when I talk about efficiency, that's what I'm saying is we're using it to amplify the content and the work that we already do. It's just making it better and enhancing and quicker.
time is nothing. It's something that we don't get back. And leveraging that time the most effectively, AI branding images lab. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all better go over there to learn that stream like a boss .tv and check this out. Got the
Thank
shorts
you.
video lab, the video multiplex. I see them trademarks on that too.
Oh yeah. Oh
Them
yeah.
them,
I
them
have
TMs
registered
aren't just
trademark on
aren't
them.
she's not just playing, ladies and gentlemen. She got
No,
this
I'm
stuff
not.
trademarked.
Mm.
I love that.
Gabe said he just married a photographer,
Yeah,
so
see,
you know I
Gabe,
want him to do
he
that.
lazy. Gabe lazy.
I married a Marine, so my Marine is not a photographer. He didn't do all that for me.
He's your
I
He does
can
security,
everything
relate to
else.
just in
that.
case. Security, just in case, is what that is. Jim, what about you? Right? Again, I
Well,
mean that's
yeah,
a high
I,
watermark to try to follow. But let's see
it
what you
is,
got,
it
brother.
is, but that's okay. Well, I think part of it is too. So my business model is really more about the video, the live video aspect, getting people to understand that you got to have good audio and things of that
Mhm.
nature. Working with clients that are producing events or shows, and so I'm looking to make sure I'm creating content that makes people aware of these things, and then that leads to further conversations. But on the flip side, I think, and I mean, not that I haven't learned this, but in thinking about, if you want to call it networking, um, I'm in a group with a gentleman by the name of Vincent Puglisi called Membership Freedom, and one of the things he talks about is like reach out to 3 people a day, right? So that's where part of what I do with social, and something I really like about Substack, and where Notes reminds me of Twitter, is I restack other people's content and say why I'm restacking it. And in a way, I'm like shouting them out. And that leads to people wanting to connect and, share my stuff. And that's what I think starts to generate that growth,
Mm.
right? It's not just about you. It's like, what can you do to help others? I mean, even like, Rachel from Bad Redhead Media, when we were on the show with Madeline Sklar, she shared in the text or in the chat, like, "Hey, did you see this?" And that's when you saw my note, Tanya, about Substack's now released this new feature, and
Ah,
so I made sure to give her credit, right? I could have just shared the note, like, "Hey, look," but I said, "Hey, thanks somebody else for making me aware of this,"
right.
and I think that's what goes back to that's part of the problem with AI sometimes that you got to be careful about. Like if you're getting all these great ideas from AI and you really know that the original content was from someone else, give them credit, right? Don't end up like, hey, you're using my stuff without my permission. And I think that's what helps build your credibility. I also will say that, I mean, Gemini 3.0 is like blowing my mind with the stuff you can do with that. And so I'm definitely
Mhm.
I'm starting to use AI more, but I'm still AI is going to be my assistant. It's not going to replace me. I don't know. I might do for fun, and Chris Stone does it every once in a while. Like he's made some AI videos of me, but I don't want to create a channel where like, oh, I'm just going to create all these videos that's not really me and make you think that it's me. I'm just I'd rather do like what we're doing right now, which is being the real us in front of a
Yeah.
real camera, having a real conversation.
Yeah. All the flubs and issues and whatever the case may be. So that's interesting, and appreciate you for going into that detail because Gabe was saying he's actually using faceless channels, and I see
Mhm.
him now all over TikTok. Gabe is just blowing up over on
All
TikTok.
over TikTok.
I ain't mad at you, brother.
Mhm.
I ain't mad at you. Get that TikTok
Mm-mm.
money.
Mhm.
And he's putting out good content. He's reposting, sharing, and things like that. So finding a lane that works for each of us. Sounds like you,
Yes.
Jim.
It's about engagement. I mean,
Yeah,
because if you think about Chris and I talk about it, there's so much AI slop out there
yeah,
that how do you stand out? Like, I mean, even and maybe you guys have done it, and I'm not going to hold it against you, but you know, like all of a sudden somebody will come up with like, oh, well, if you put this into Chat GPT, it'll turn you into like a plastic action figure. Okay, great,
Yeah.
but how is that moving your business forward?
I
Right?
did do it for
How
fun.
is that?
I will admit I did it for
I
fun.
did too,
You
I
did
didn't
it.
too.
post it, but I
I
did it
get
for
it.
fun. Yeah,
You could
I
do it
did it
for
for
fun.
fun.
I get it. But you know, you see so much of this, "Oh, well, I did this," and, you know, but, like, today, what blew my mind, because Madeline, we talk about some of the things going on with AI today was, Chat GPT voice. Now and I showed my wife, and she about, died. It's like, "Hey, Chat GPT, can you show me a place to park, near the Battery in Atlanta?" And it pulls up a map, and it tells you, "Hey, yeah." I mean, because
Yeah.
you can talk to it, which is a little creepy,
Mhm.
yeah.
but that to me is the stuff that as a business owner, as someone that's helped local businesses, it's like, how are you making sure your business can be found because people are looking for things differently?
Okay. Mm.
And I think that's where we have to think about, the content we create, right? Like I'll go into Atlas and I'll ask it questions like, hey, how do I make sure that this can be found by the other search engines? Right. And you learn
Mhm.
things like even your evergreen content, add the word 2026 to it because these things are searching for things by relevancy more what they think is current, even though it's maybe the same thing that worked 5 years ago. And I think there's still a lot of people, and even I spoke on a panel a couple weeks ago. And a lot of these were veteran-owned businesses working with government contracts, and it's like, how many of you are creating video for your business? And it's still right less
Mhm.
than 5%.
Wow.
And when you consider how much video is out there, and that all these people are still not doing it, it's just I don't know, makes me scratch my head, but and I'm just an old angry man.
Mhm. Sitting
Old
here
Morgan
thinking,
Freeman, like me.
yeah,
We just
um,
old Morgan Freemans.
you're not old at all. I think, what you touched on is the whole idea around answer engine optimization, AEO, which is now improving our ability to be able to be pulled up when somebody's looking for something in Chat GPT, Perplexity, et cetera, right?
Mhm.
And so now we have that's my next thing that I'm learning, right? I really want to understand the inner workings of that so I can teach it. But the AEO factor is changing the game because now we do have to put ourselves out there in a way that we can be found by these answer engines and not just the search engines, right? So when people have a specific question that they're asking, do you pop up? Do you show up in one of those LLMs? I think that's going to be really important for content creators to understand how to leverage that. And that's another reason why I love the idea of being able to be visible in a lot of different ways and not just a singular way. But to your point, Jim, it's funny because we both are kind of saying the same thing, but we're also saying different things. And I think that's important for anybody who's watching the three of us, is to understand that you need to find your lane. We've said it before.
Amen.
I want to
That's
say
it.
it one more time. Find your lane and find what works for you. I just now got to a certain point in my YouTube understanding and feeling like, okay, I'm actually making some traction right now. Whereas the two of these guys, they've been jamming it, right? We might play in the same or similar spaces, but our journeys are going to be different. And your journey is going to be different. And how you choose to deliver content and where you choose to play is all up to you. I think, again, that's what's fun about this space right now. I like creating the Barbie dolls and the the characters. I like creating a little bit of AI slop in there, but also I'm constantly thinking, how can I tie this back to like, how do I tie this back to my offer? How do I make this about video? So I was talking about Notebook LM the other day, and I thought, ooh, I need to make a post that says, here's 10 ways that you can use Notebook LM to create video or to leverage video content. And people were like, what? Didn't know I could do that? Oh my God. So now I know I need to create a class or a co-working event or a free webinar to talk more about that thing. So just putting testers out there to see what works for you, I think that's going to be really key. And then once you find that lane that you love, like I love, Jim, that you found Substack to be a lane where you can play and really get a lot of traction. Find a lane, really go all in on that lane, grow it, and then use that process for other spaces.
Yeah. That's good. I love that piece. Right. So, state of content creation, folks that are just joining, appreciate you for joining. Tomorrow's creator economy today. Where what Tanya just said was really the core of where we're going with the discussion. Everyone's at a different part in this marathon, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And each one is going to go a different way. We're going to wear some different shoes. I'm going to wear my Saucony's. Jim probably going to wear some Brooks. I don't know. Tanya probably, she probably wear them on cloud. She got that good money like that.
She's got some sneaks.
Yeah, she got some Chuck Taylors or something that she's out here doing it. Needless to say, we are heading not even to the same finish line, right? We're heading in a direction that is a success that the criteria is individual to each of us. So we are going towards a different finish line, and we have different goals. We have different expectations. Different things are written on our vision boards.
We're collaborators, not competitors.
Boy, that's that right there. That's going to be all over the internet in about 20 minutes. After we're done right there.
He's going to make another t-shirt.
That's going to be a t-shirt. And Gabe, that's going to be on TikTok. That's going to be a reel on TikTok.
It should be make that a coffee cup too. But yeah, because I think, right, one of the things you talk about, if you want to talk about where the state of content creation is, I think one of the things is people have to get over this, I got to be putting stuff out there all the time. And, even like Judy Fox, if you go look at Judy Fox's LinkedIn, you don't see a lot of posts, but she's very active with engaging with people. And I think that we forget that it's not always about me. It's about how can I help others? And you help others by engaging, by letting them know that they're being seen and heard, and that it's not always about like, I gotta throw out a reel or every day, and somehow I'll get more. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I got 2,000 plus more followers on Facebook, and it made me 0 cents. So those vanity metrics, I think they're still getting people in the wrong headspace, right? It's like, what is your offer? What is it that you're trying to do? Who are you trying to find? And, so you go live and, we might have 300 people watch, but if we each were to get one person that reaches out to us, to me, that's a success. It doesn't have to be all 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me do
And
this. Oh, go ahead, Tanya. I'd rather have you talk to me.
no. Go ahead and ask a question. It's fine.
Well, I wanted to go. I wanted to kind of piggyback off of what Jim said and go to
Mhm.
kind of the value of community, because again, we're doing what we do for a particular reason, and then when our community asks us, like you were saying, ask you to do a Notebook LM masterclass, maybe you're pivoting or you're adding that to the toolkit. And
Mhm.
my question was going to be, you know, what are some of the things that you have done to make you feel connected to your community? You know, what are things that you're doing today that are working, and things that you're probably going to do in 2026 that are going to keep you locked in on what's important? Because we don't create this content just for ourselves. We can be
Right.
doing a whole bunch of other things, right? But we do this to engage and to teach, be subject matter experts, to be trusted advisors, all those adjectives and things of that. What is it that you're doing today, and probably in the near term future, that's going to keep you connected to your community?
I think it's what Jim just said, which is I ask. So I ask a lot of questions. I
Mm.
used to, and I'm just going to be honest and transparent. I used to be like, oh, I know what they need.
Mm.
Mm.
And so I would put out there, okay, well, I'm going to do this class and I'm going to do this such and such. And I'm going to, so now I do a lot more asking and pre-selling, pre-selling courses and workshops. And I put little touch points out there, social media posts, and see what's getting traction and interest. And I do more of what's working. So to even give you an example about this whole AI brand images lab, the first one I did was in the summer. It was a few months ago. And when I did it, I listened to the feedback of the people that attended. And one of the things they kept harping on was, yeah, I feel like I learned a lot, but I need better prompts. I need a better way to prompt because my prompts are not getting me the output that we were getting in class. And so when I went back and revamped and revised the second version of that same AI brand images lab this time, I told them, okay, for those of you who attended the first one, you get to come back for free because you gave me feedback and I want to test it out and see if this new version worked. And so what I did in lieu of what I heard from them, because I asked for feedback, is the second time I did it, I really focused all in on prompting, and I built out a custom GPT that was designed to partner with my class. Her name is Vera. And so Vera was able to not only understand everything I was going to teach, the whole framework, which is called the Vibe framework, but she then breaks down. So I taught them how to use her to get the outputs, to get the specific prompts they want based on the outfits or the background and the elements they want to include in that brand photo, right? That image that they're creating. I taught them how to leverage a tool based on their feedback so that now they can create endless prompts based on the concepts that they learned in class. But the number one thing I want to tell you is this. As much as I love teaching and creating these workshops and adding an AI element, and I do vibe coding too, so I've been creating micro apps for every single course and workshop I do now. I have a micro app or a custom GPT that knows my framework and can teach it and continue to help them to leverage it after the class. But as much as I do that, I want you to hear what I'm saying. I'm partnering my knowledge, what I already know, having been in this business world for 20 plus years, plus the automation, plus the AI. It's not AI took over and taught everything for me and did it. No, it's what I know works. And that is a tool. It's the assistant that is supporting them in continuous learning after the fact. So pairing the two things, I think, is what, when we talk about state of content creation, that's the thing we cannot forget is we can't stop learning ourselves and just turn everything over to bots and tools. We
Hmm.
have to still learn.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Jim,
I think that's a big. I think that's the
this floor is
biggest part
yours,
of it.
brother.
Is it is about constant learning. I think that's the thing that people, I think too much, maybe we call it the 80-20 rule, want the easy button.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want the easy button. I just want to throw some money at it, and then money will rain down from the sky. It doesn't work that way, right? I mean, it's like 80% of your, money comes from 20% of what you do, but we
Mhm.
have to keep learning because it's like I told my wife, I made a professional headshot for her out of a photo using Gemini, and I could not have done that 6 months ago because that's how much the product has changed in 6 months. And those are the things that you have to be keeping your head on a swivel in a sense, if I want to use a kind of a military term, to see that things are changing,
Yeah.
and even when people want to resist change, change is going to happen anyway. So you can either, adapt it, right? Roll with the punches. Figure out what do I need to do, because we have all these people like, oh my gosh, AI is going to take our jobs. Okay, but take a look in the mirror and say, is what I'm doing really of value? Is it something that can be replaced? And if it's going to be replaced, what is it that the skills I can learn to make myself continue to be valuable? And
Mhm.
I think that's the problem I think with a lot of people today is they got into a habit of doing the same thing over and over, right? We call it the rat race sometimes. But how are you changing? It's like I tell people, we're in 2025. 8 years ago, I wasn't doing video, but I learned to do it, and I keep learning how to get better at it. I don't like,
Mhm.
hey, I've been on a live show. I'm here. I've arrived. I don't have to do anything else. And I think that's what keeps us young. That's what keeps us vibrant. That's what keeps us moving. And that's where I think even with AI, you start to learn, oh, here's some things I can do that I couldn't do before to Tanya's point, much more efficiently, quickly, and with accuracy. But also you still got to double check this stuff. So you got to use your brain.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it still goes back to even when you're creating content, you got to be using critical thinking about why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Right. And that's probably why some of these, if you want to call it short, short, quick platforms. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I mean, you may be spending a ton of time on Instagram and Threads. It's like it doesn't do anything for me, and I don't think my ideal client is spending a lot of time there. I mean, even Sue B. Zimmerman, right, the Instagram queen. Guess where she's starting to build a community?
Yep,
Substack.
she's on Substack.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So they're seeing that, hey, this I gotta look at how do I, you know, adjust, develop. Vivica von Rosen, who was huge on LinkedIn and still is, now she's building on Substack. They're seeing that I gotta do something that makes sense and that allows me to build community because Instagram doesn't really build community, right? I mean, sure, it's got a broadcast channel and
It tries
you
to
can do
build
group
virality,
group
but not
chats.
community.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that needs to be another t-shirt. Um, but you're
I'm
right.
just gonna
It's like
put you to work, but I'm gonna make you a team of
team
the
Please.
merch stuff.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, I mean, people want this. That kind of goes back to right. Like it's always funny. Probably should know her name, but the lady that put the Chewbacca mask on, right? She
Oh,
went
yeah.
viral, led to all kinds of great things for her. But that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
And I think that
And where is she now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh.
It's a good
Mhm.
question. Probably owns an AI company. But to your point, right? It's like why do we feel like I don't know, maybe it's the dopamine rush, right? That oh, I got all these views. This is going to keep me going. And I think that's where I have, concern for the youth is like they start to judge their success based on social media platform. I guess, do people like me? And so that's a whole nother story. So when you're creating that content, it needs to be something that is going to add value and attract your tribe, build your community, because you don't need thousands of people. You just need a few people that are going to, lift each other up.
That's good stuff. Let me bring that just kind of put a ribbon on that because you touched on something, and I may have told you. I probably have told Tanya. I'm not sure if I told you, Jim, too, and I won't necessarily go into it. But my personal struggle with social media. I don't know if I've told you that. I work in the industry in enterprise IT, and I feel a personal onus to that degradation of our use attention
Yeah.
spans, because I'm literally selling that infrastructure into Facebook and Google
Hmm.
and all these organizations. So for many years, that's been a personal demon and a struggle that I have. So it's real interesting for you to say that. Maybe we'll talk a little bit offline as well about that. But back to the question: building community, staying key to the technology and in front of it yourself, so you can know what it is so you can be aware of what the technology is today and what it's possibly going to do tomorrow. Because again, we consider ourselves teachers, educators, consultants. So you
Hmm.
have to at least be 10% better than whomever's coming to your class. You've got to at least know that.
Yeah.
Being able to speak honestly about the capabilities as well, right? Telling folks don't be afraid of the technology, learn to embrace it, realize that if you think your job or your occupation is at risk, level up your own skills. I can't motivate you. You should be able to motivate yourself. You see it's right here in front of you. Go out and do the thing. I think Gabe or somebody
Hmm.
was saying, yeah, Google and a whole bunch of other, Google offers a couple of free courses on prompting and vibe coding. Go out and do the thing so you
Hmm.
can get better. Um, Multiplying your expertise and making it more available, not replacing yourself with AI. Kuva Media HQ said that, and that really just sums up exactly kind of that whole what is that value of community, that whole section that we talked about. I hope folks are catching what we put down. I'm trying to rein
Hmm.
it in because we drop in so many gems, and I don't want to just let somebody gloss over some of these key things that we're talking about. Um, Before I go to the next one, Tanya, did you want to say something else about that topic?
No, I think I know Kuva Media. What's up? I think that it truly is about ensuring that we stay a couple of steps ahead so that we can guide the next generation, so that
Hmm.
we can guide people who are in our own generations, right? Um, we have to hold the torch. And we can't rely on big companies,
Hmm.
corporations, et cetera, to be the ones to hold the ethical torch. That's on us
Yeah.
because we're out here promoting this stuff and doing this stuff. So that is always in the back of my mind. It was one of the things, the topics that we had a conversation about in my community a couple of weeks ago is, okay, everybody, hey, I want to give you some templates and some information on how to create an AI usage policy.
Hmm.
So take a look at your usage policy that you have on your website. Also look at what's going to be in your speaker agreement. And I shared what Mari Smith had
Mm,
shared from
mm,
her legal counsel about that. And then I also showed them where, there's certain things that you want to put in terms of disclaimers and other affiliate. Like, do you have your legal stuff in order to protect you? Because this ship is moving so quickly.
Hmm.
There's going to be some people left behind. There's going to be some people drowning because they're doing things that are going to get them into trouble once the law does eventually catch up, if it ever does. And so we want to do things with ethics and with morals at all times. But you got to understand what those things are, at least talk about it. So, yeah, I think we do all have a moral responsibility as it relates to social media, AI, and all of these things because we know some things. So, why not share it?
Nobody here is gatekeeping, folks. That's literally the conversation that needs to happen more and more, and I'm glad that we're having that. Let me ask this, because we're business owners. We are doing what we do: content creation, building community, serving others for revenue. Revenue is, listen. Don't be afraid of money,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to ask for money. So I want to talk about monetization beyond YPP, beyond AdSense. What revenue streams are you two surprised by the most? Which ones are helping you? And we're not going to get into specific numbers, but again, I'm wondering: is it webinars? Is it cohorts? Is it master classes? But what revenue streams this year has kind of surprised you the most that they've kind of taken on? Is it digital products or things of that nature? And what do you think people are probably sleeping on? Right? What's been your most successful buckets as it comes to monetization. And you notice I completely kicked out YPP because listen, they come on the 21st is when Google. I've said this before too, right? Google sends the checks, y'all, on the 21st of the month. Shouts out to them AdSense checks, but we still got to keep lights on, and that's right now. That's not keeping all the lights on, keeping some of the lights on.
That's not keeping any of my lights on
Well,
right now.
see, you making the Instagram money. No, but I wasn't making the Instagram money. I'm making the YPP money. Come on now, Tanya Smith, talk to us. What are your monetization best practices, hacks?
You probably already know what I'm going to say.
I know what you're going to say.
I already preached about this whole platform proof thing, didn't I? Way back when people were asking me to do live streams about monetizing your live stream. For those of you who have been around for a minute, if you've seen any of my shows where we talked about the number one thing I have said is stop waiting on somebody else to hand you a check.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to use what we know and create content and create work for me. And it's not a surprise because I know you asked the question, what's surprising you about monetization? It's not a surprise to me because I've been in this too long. It's not a surprise to me that I can sell my way into a course or workshop or something that I'm gifted at delivering, services, consulting, and now done for you services that I've added because I can do that with the optimization of AI tools, right? So all of those things are what make me money. My community, and this is the thing, I'm not going to say it surprises me, but this is the thing I think everybody needs to be aware of for next year. Since we're talking about the state of content creation, your content is not just about you. Your content is for other people to consume. And when you, by nature of you putting it out there and delivering it, you're going to attract a group of people that probably are like-minded in some way. For some reason, they like your stuff. They like what you're sharing. They like how you share it and how you teach it. And there's room for everyone. So what can you do to create a space? I kept having people knocking on my door, yelling at me saying, we want a space to play. Create spaces, whether it's an intimate community, which I love more intimate, smaller communities. But then there are other people who love to build communities of thousands of people. Whatever your space, whatever your playground, figure out how to create a space for those people who are consuming your content and your information. Give them something to be a part of. Because people are looking for that. They are aching to engage and to build relationship with you and with other people that think like you and them. So I think that communities, first of all, it's monthly recurring revenue if you set it up right. So that's one thing.
Talk about it.
Okay, since you said monetization. But secondly, it's also a way for you to nurture and to grow and to educate and to share all of those things when you set those spaces up. And again, you don't have to set it up like everybody else sets it up. That's why I don't do Facebook groups anymore. I know a lot of people are doing them. That's not my happy place. That's not where my people like to play. But figure out what that looks like for you and begin to build that community or create that space, that playground for people to come and hang out with you and to enjoy more of an expanded version of your content. I think that's going to be really super key. The other monetization stuff, yeah, again, for me, digital products, micro apps, the vibe coding stuff is just like it's blown up my stuff. I've got 6 different micro apps now that I'm selling access to. I'm meeting with the founder of a company called Easy Site. We're going to be doing a webinar in a couple of weeks. We're doing that, Hicks, and that's going to be really awesome because he's talking about the structure and the framework and how he set that up. And I'm talking about how I used it to monetize. So find the way that you can leverage your content and give value, add value to the world, to your world, to the people that are intended for you. Don't worry about trying to serve everybody with skin, like they used to say in my Mary Kay classes. Everyone with skin is your customer. No, they're not.
Oh, go ahead, Fashion Fair. Oh no, she said Mary Kay. I know too now. Hey,
Fashion Fair too. But Look, that's back
You
in the
wasn't
day
ready
for
for that.
real.
You wasn't. You didn't think that was gonna
I
come out of my
wasn't ready
mouth.
for that, but I know that though. I'm from that era.
You know what I'm saying?
but,
Yeah.
but yeah, the monetization. Yeah, I'm not surprised by any of it. But I just know that you have to find the way that you're to tap into that, whatever that looks like for you. And again, that's you got to experiment and figure out and put your toe in the water. You can't sit back and wait for it to come. You're going to have to
Mm-hmm.
go out there and experiment and figure out what monetization strategies work for me. I don't do ads right now. I don't know if either one of you do. It's something I'm exploring for next year, but I want to be very intentional behind it.
No, I haven't ran ads in a very long time, and geez, I did ads on Twitter. So very,
Mm.
very
Me
long
too.
time ago, right? Again, I'm kind of dating myself
Yeah.
again on that perspective, but it's 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 not. I don't feel ads really fit what I want to do and how I want to reach people today. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to just blast and throw stuff against the wall. It's got to be targeted. It's got to be focused. Like one of my main words there. Um, I want to get to some of these comments, but I want to be cognizant of what you just said there as well, because you said some really good stuff, and I'm gonna sum it up just because I'm simple, and it's kind of the CEO and founder of the company whose hat I'm wearing. Gina Bianchini says people pay attention to what they pay for,
Yeah.
and the fact that we're talking about monetization, it's the reason I'm bringing it up is that I feel that I got too many microphones in the way. That's why my focus is going off, y'all. It's
I
irking
was
me.
like, he's staying focused, but he is out of focus
You
right
know what I'm
now.
saying? It's irking me, and I can tell you what. When we're done with this stream, one of these microphones is getting out of the way because this will never happen again. Um, Creators, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, digital creators don't talk about monetization enough. We just kind of assume it, and it's almost like it's a bad word, but it's not a bad word because
No.
I would much rather even pay for SaaS products. I love my LTDs, I love my lifetime deals, but and Tanya knows this. Every time I get on the phone with a founder, I ask them, "What's your revenue strategy? How are you going to make
Yeah.
money after this $149 lifetime deal?" And
Yep.
if they don't have a really clear answer about
Hmm.
how they plan on having sustainability, I'm probably not going to buy into it. I've
Yeah.
fallen off a couple of times and gave in because of the story and thought that they had a really good use case. But I haven't hit home runs all the time. But my main question that I ask before I hang up the phone with a lot of these CEOs, founders, and SaaS companies is, again, what is that revenue strategy? How are you going to make money? I'm gonna pay attention to what I pay for, and if you don't have a long term strategy for that perspective, I really don't know if I want to rock with you. And people looking at us as trusted advisors, subject matter experts, consultants, coaches, again, whatever, y'all get that rate sheet done. And have
Hmm.
some numbers in there that aren't just you giving your stuff away. Have that rate sheet out there to where, again, you put in all this time, you put in all of this effort, you're vibe coding, you're building courses, you're building micro apps. That's time, energy, patience. That's a lot of effort to build something to help someone get better.
Hmm.
I will pay for that if it brings me value. If you didn't just throw it together, if you didn't just AI slop it together,
Yep.
if it actually is going to bring me some value moving forward, I'm gonna pay more than $3.99, the price of a cup of coffee. Bill
Right.
accordingly to the effort and what you're putting out to your community. All right, let me pull up these comments while I'm off these soapboxes. Lord have mercy, y'all pray for me. Uh,
Is
your content is not just about you, Tanya. Print that and frame it.
that
Print it and frame
another
it.
hoodie? Is that a hoodie?
It might be a hoodie, or maybe a canvas. We're gonna put that somewhere. We're gonna put that somewhere. It says, "I love this. Thank you all for putting a state of address out there. I've been lost for a while because I haven't seen innovation or felt in a way until I started listening to this.
Wow.
Reach one,
Thank you.
teach one. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Uh, I'm hearing keeping learning. Be ready. Listen, be ready to pivot and always focus on being of service by bringing value, especially what Tanya said. Ask questions. They get it, man. These folks coming from Stream Like a Boss TV, boy, they get it. These people over here. Oh, that's dope.
Look, Sarah is a genius. Sarah Parker, Kuva Media, genius. When it comes to SaaS, LTDs, and beyond that, she is sharp. So if she's saying this stuff in here, then I feel like, wow. Wow.
I'm just watching it. I'm taking pictures behind the scenes here. We got a
I'm just
question though.
happy to have both of you.
Hey here.
I'm happy.
Hey here. My question is for the content-driven podcast like me. Where should I turn in all this in this arena? Anyone want to answer that?
You want to start, Jim?
Well, I mean, just the fact that you're saying a content-driven podcast, I'm thinking you definitely want to be on Substack, because if you're creating something that's driven by content, now you can take that, repurpose it. You can have the audio behind a paywall if you want. You can turn these podcasts into written content. I mean, that's where you're going to find people that are looking specifically for what you're talking about. Because I think if you throw it on any of these other platforms, nobody's going to see it. And you know what? I know people get on Spotify and Apple and everywhere else, but they don't find you. Like, I don't go onto the Apple podcast app and it's like, oh, let me see if James Hicks has a podcast, because it may not show up because of the way I searched for it. You've got to, and people are consuming more and more right, wrong, and different on YouTube. So how is your content getting found?
Yeah.
It's not getting found by that half hour, 1 hour, like this show, right? If we did nothing with it after it was done, even though it's on the tubes,
shame on us.
Nobody will find it.
Yeah, shame on us.
You've got to repurpose it. And I think as an earlier creator, or, meaning back when I first started, that was the mistake that we made.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't, it was more like, all right, this one's in the can, it's on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and that's the problem. And I want to go back to something that Tanya said earlier that I think is so important. And Chris and I have had this conversation. People are like, how do I get a sponsor for my show? Right? How do I make money off my show?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, unless you got thousands of followers to begin with, you're not going to make money off your show. You're going to make money by the other things you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do remote production work. I do, affiliate marketing. That's how I make money. I don't make money by going live. And I think, if anything, by going live like we are here today, people see how we look, how we sound, and like, oh, that's the level I want to get to. Let me talk to this person to find out how they can help me do that. So this is being in front of the camera for us is kind of proof of concept that we know what we're doing. Because I think it's tough if you're only on the back end, people don't know what you do. They don't have an appreciation for it. And so, like today, I was producing a show and I sent this guy, and Chris and I always kind of laugh because you have to bite your tongue sometimes. This guy, he came on and we're getting echo. He's like, oh, well, that never happens on Zoom. I said, well, we're not on Zoom. I say, do you have headphones? No. Well, no. And then he's getting echo. So I sent him an email later. I was like, hey, this microphone might be better because your space isn't sound treated. Now, if he does anything with it, fine. If he doesn't, fine. But I'm going to educate people about, like, you're trying to come across as being something. And I'm sorry, from my perspective, as our friend, one friend used to say, is your virtual presence is the new suit. It's your new first impression, right? If you show up sounding and looking like dog, it doesn't matter how good you are. People are like, whoop, turn it off.
Yep.
And you don't get that second chance.
That's
so
right.
I think that's I know, probably going on. That's that Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, it is. You got
again
on a rant right there on a whole diatribe. But you talk. It's funny that you start talking about people looking good on camera and things like that, and then we got RK3 show up, man. And y'all know, if you don't know, you need to know. Robert Kennedy III, boy, when he show up on camera, he is the truth. Appreciate you for being here, brother. Let me answer this question because you're asking how many LTD founders have been able to answer that question, and a low minority
Ooh.
or a low
Yeah.
majority. There have been more folks who I have turned away and said I can't. I I'm not an influencer. I don't like the word influence. I like the word advocate.
Mm.
There have
Love
been
it.
a number of platforms, hardware, software, and services that I've said, you know what, because you don't have that long term strategy, I can't roll with you. I can't
Yeah.
position you to my community. So it's
Yeah.
been a very small number moving forward, I've gotten pretty cranky too. I've tell a lot of these companies that I work with, say, I will tell you when your baby's ugly. That's literally the statement that I say to a lot of these companies. I will tell you when your baby's ugly, and I've done that, and I haven't been invited either back to further conversations because I've told them that, or I have gotten some feedback saying, "Thank you, James, for being honest to that perspective." So just wanted to get that there.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I think that's part of the problem is that it's no different than when I was in the military. The worst thing you can do for someone is blow smoke, right? And I won't say where. You got to tell them the truth, right? If they're not cutting it,
Mhm.
tell them they're not cutting it. You sure you don't have to, be mean about it, but everybody has a different thing, but they're going to appreciate the fact that you let them know like, "Hey, look, this is what you need to do to improve. You can take it with a grain of salt, not listen, that's fine. You'll still be in the same
Mhm.
spot you are now." One of the things that I respect about Chris Stone so much, I know vice versa, is we tell each other, right? "Hey, this is what I saw," or, you're
Mhm.
gonna get that honest feedback, right? It's like we
Yeah.
say, iron sharpens iron. I mean, if I sound and look like garbage, I want people to tell me. I don't wanna say, "Oh,
Mhm.
I look and sound great."
That's
And I'm
right.
always figuring out, how can I get better, right? I
Right.
I feel like I gotta do better with my lighting, I'll tell you that. You guys maybe haven't told me that, but I tell myself that. But that's because nobody can look like Tanya Smith. I mean, look at her.
Nobody.
Whatever.
$1,000,000.
Nobody.
She's
I'm over here.
$1,000,000.
You know what I'm saying? We trying to do what we can. I'm over here 4K, mirrorless, prime, and all these things.
Whatever,
Okay,
y'all.
let me stay locked in because what's happening is we're getting a lot of engagement from the community and in the comments. So that's more important than honestly than us just going back and forth. But there is one last question in the run of show that I want to ask you guys in a minute. But let me bring up some of these questions that are coming here. Uh, Gabe is over there doing TikTok videos. That
I
he's made a
know.
sort of video of
He
what
sent
Tanya said.
he sent me something. I haven't looked at it
Oh
yet because I
god.
Yeah,
didn't
he
want to
sent me
get
something too.
distracted.
I don't just be opening up random random DMs when I'm live. I got caught one time. So Gabe, don't do that, brother. Don't send random DMs when your boy live because
Oh
just
god.
saying it's a family show around here. We're not gonna do that. Uh, WV Uncommon Place 3936. I sell
Okay.
projectors and my podcast turned me into an Oscar movie reviewer. Wait a minute. Hold on. What? But I
That's
wish I
awesome.
had something more podcast centric. We need to talk about that. This man or this person is reviewing Oscar movies. That's dope though.
That is pretty cool.
Okay.
I think that's J.R. Sparrow because I think I followed
Oh.
him on Substack. I think that's his Substack. Um,
Ah, okay.
yeah.
You've been dropping a lot of names too lately, Jim. You know, I'm gonna call you
I
out on
He
that.
read.
loves
I read.
everybody.
No,
He
he just
does.
created this Facebook group, and I really appreciate. I know he shouted out Tanya. He shouted out me. So yeah, I was like, I got to make sure I follow him on Substack. And so,
He's
and
good
he
people.
said, yeah, but and I see his comment there at the bottom, and I'm going to tell you, don't become like me or Tanya. Be you,
Mm,
right? No,
Be the best version of you
yeah.
that you can
yep,
possibly be.
yep,
Don't
yep,
be mediocre you.
yep.
Right? Be excellent you. That's the thing, we can always be mediocre and think that that's enough. This is something we get fooled into because we hear this from folks saying, it doesn't have to be perfect. I know, and I'm not saying perfection is even achievable. What I'm saying is do your best. Always try to be excellent. Always strive for excellence in everything you do. It's something I tell my kids. I don't want you to be average like everybody else. Like, but mom, everybody gets C's. If they get a C, it's okay. Yeah, but you're not average. You're
Come on.
better than average. So act like you're better than average. Like, that's how I want you to show up, is being the best you, not the mediocre version of you. And I
Right.
think that we don't need to give ourselves permission anymore to be mediocre, y'all, because your purpose is designed for you to stand out and be a beacon of hope and light to the people who are intended to be influenced and inspired by you. And how are you going to be a beacon if you're like at half light, right? So, yeah,
I
I
was
know
just
when my content is trash and when my
well,
stuff is.
I've been taking this decision journaling class with Nicholas Cole and I think it's Dickie Bush, and one of the things they talk about in there is future me mentor. So what does future me a year from now think of where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
5 years from now, 10 years from now, or even if you make a decision today when you're 80 years old, how are you going to look back on that decision? Was it a good decision? Was it a bad decision? And start to think about this when you're doing things like, and to Tanya's point, what are you doing to get better and stop? I mean, I guess this will be the marina me. Stop making excuses. Just get it done, right? Take the time, even if it's setting aside 1 hour a week, right? You don't have to fix everything overnight. Like Chris and I'll say, 1% a day adds up, and that's not
Yeah.
asking too much.
Love it. Love it. Great question here. How do you prepare to stay focused on your main purpose or message on lives? I
Mm.
tend to wander or not be concise enough on lives, long forms. So sometimes I don't get the best content for his clips.
Mm. Ooh, this is my happy place. Can I go?
You
Yeah.
listen, make it happen. Make it rain, sis.
Right. So this is the most important thing that you can do ahead of time. And that is not necessarily to write out an entire script. I know I do love scripts, and I actually have a custom GPT and a micro app that creates scripts. Yeah, sure. But outlines. So the main flow for me, it goes a lot like what you've probably learned in Toastmasters or some other type of speaking class, which is that you tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them, right? And so you have these 3 parts. At the very beginning, you're doing the intro. You're going to make sure before you ever go live that you have an outline of your key points. I tend to, for my 45-minute to 60-minute live stream, have 3 key message points. I may go to 5 if I'm feeling it, right? But 3 to 5 key message points. And so those are going to be bulleted out. Now, something else that I know that RK3 will know, and this is something I do too, is he always plans for sound bites. So if there's specific things that you want, specific message points that you could wear on a t-shirt or put on a coffee mug or a hat, we've been talking about merch, y'all, because
Let
all
me
of
get
us,
back
I
on
think, will
camera.
be
We
merch.
talking about merch. Let me get back
I
on
know you
camera.
got merch, right? If you can put that saying, that soundbite on a t-shirt or a hat or something, right? Build that into your script or your outline so that you have that ready to go. You don't want to forget to say that. So that needs to be standing out in your outline. I started using Workflowy a long time ago. I don't use it as effectively or as much anymore, but that was one of the ways when I first started doing live streaming regularly. I was using workflowy.com. If you go there, it's an outline creator. You can use anything you choose to, really, but it's really cool for just creating those bulleted outlines. And that way I would just highlight the lines that I knew, these are my sound bites. I want to make sure I say these things. And the other thing I do is include engagement prompts and some other stuff too. But that's what keeps you on track, is have some type of look quickly, not read, but look quickly and scan for those key points so that you don't forget to stay on track. That's my tip.
Love that.
Oh,
Yeah, and free work's great, by the way.
That's a good price right there. That's a good
Mm.
price too. Not that we cheap, we just frugal, and we put our money to work where it's most valuable. I want to put that caveat out there. We
well,
talk about
the pro is the cost of a cup of Starbucks. So I mean, that's Yeah.
That's
One less Starbucks for you. But I don't drink Starbucks anymore.
Don't wanna do
I
that.
drink Ariel Resupply coffee because he makes some good merch.
Can't take him nowhere. What are your thoughts on that question though, Jim? About staying locked in and staying focused for lives?
I would agree with Tanya. I think I'm to her point. I'm more into the outline. What are the key points we want to hit, right? If you have a guest, sometimes they're going to bring something up that maybe is going to take you away from that. But I guess the question I would maybe have for the person that asked that question is, if you're doing it by yourself, it's even more important, right? If you're doing a live by yourself, because I think sometimes it's almost like you get diarrhea of the mouth, like, oh, I got to keep talking. So you just start babbling, right? As opposed to, this is what I'm here to talk about. Even if there's nobody here, I'm going to act like there is an audience. I'm going to get to my points, and then I'm going to get off camera. That's what you got to do. That's how you stay focused, is don't get caught up in, because I think that I remember, maybe it still happens. I just don't see those videos, right? They hit the go live button. They're looking like, all right, well, we're just going to sit here and wait and see if anybody else is coming.
Don't do that, please. Don't do that.
Don't
please.
do that, right? Pretend like you're on television and it's action and get going. But yeah, I was in Toastmasters as well. I think that's great advice by Tanya, is right. What are you going to talk about? Here's the things you're going to talk about, and then wrap it up. Because the reality is, right, and this used to be the thing on YouTube, like, hi, I'm so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. They're there because of what you're going to talk about. They don't care who you are. They want to find out who you are, then go to the top of your channel and find out all that stuff. Get to the meat or they're gone.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows Dr. Hicks.
Well, see, and then I was going to throw a wrench in the whole statement there, in the whole, because I have to be different. Because I have to be different. I'll just say that. I know everything that I want to talk about on the live. I do. I'm very analytical. I know where every pixel from a production perspective is. These two and my other co-hosts know I know every hex code for color. I know, right? 20557B is this blue. Right. 54, 54, 54 is the gray. These are the things that I know. And I'm really nuanced about that, because I want the production to be right so it's aesthetically pleasing. But I know the most important piece is the content. One of the missions, though, for Hicks New Media is to entertain, enlighten, and educate. So if I can bring all three of those aspects into the conversation, yeah, I've got to run a show and, I'll have 3, 4, 5 bullet points. But when the conversation veers, I'm not afraid to veer with the conversation and veer with the questions coming in from the community. So I know that there's a goal that I want to get to with the session. But if there's a blessing that comes in the middle of it that actually turns us another way, that's still in alignment with the goal of the meeting and of the session, of the live stream, I'll go that route. So I'm not afraid to pivot. It took me a little while to get to that point, to be comfortable with that, though. So I'm saying all of that to bounce back to what I believe Tanya said earlier: be yourself. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm I'm the most non-corporate person in the room a lot of times, and it's conscious and it's on purpose. But again, it's to show truth. It's to show that I'm not an AI robot, that I'm actually here trying to connect and show empathy and show the fact that I'm either been there, done that, riding with you, want to learn with you, want to teach you, want to do all those things. So I'm looking at actually being at the level, talking with you instead of at you.
Yeah.
So again, it's very conscious what I'm doing. So sometimes folks will come on the show and I don't give them like the questions, but I'll just give them the topic.
He never gives us. Does he give us?
Never,
questions?
right? Today was the only day, and y'all didn't even read the questions.
And we didn't read them
because we didn't know that he would have questions today.
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise. Thought it was a joke. I wasn't going to go look at the.
Lord have mercy. I got
He never gives us
I got all these.
questions
I got all
He
these
never
SOPs in place
You
and
gave us
nobody
the
pay.
topic. You gave us
Yeah,
the
he
topic.
gives us a topic every time, but we usually don't have structured questions. So I just was like, hey, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I
We
can't
just
with y'all
we just
sometimes,
ready.
but
We just
I
it
mean,
ready.
works, right? It
It
works,
does.
and it doesn't work for everyone, right? Everyone can't do that. So, shouts to the person again that says they do the Oscar movie reviews. It may not work for you to go that route. There is structure in terms of what I do. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into a preparation just in case something goes down from the infrastructure side and
Mhm.
also from the content delivery perspective. But I am very comfortable with pivoting as the conversation allows. So I wanted to put that in there, just throw that wrench into the whole conversation.
And I do a
Um,
mix. I have some structure, like my Thursdays are usually pretty structured. But then earlier today, when I was doing the test of Substack's new desktop app,
mhm.
that was supposed to be 5 minutes. But people popped up and started asking questions. And so it turned into 45 minutes because I then went into an overview of the difference between different streaming platforms because people had questions. So,
right.
yeah, I think there's a time and a season for every type of content you want to create. But it's
Easy.
good to have structure
Yeah.
because if you're a person who tends to go off the rails, like you said, Sarah, then you want to put some guardrails in place so that you can stay on target. If there and every look, whenever you create content, there should be a specific purpose in mind. And you don't want to have like 5 different CTAs because that's going to confuse people, and confused people do not take action.
Mm.
So think about what your content is designed and purposed to do and really stay focused on the outcome that you want for the people who are watching. If you can do that, I think that's going to be key.
My
Yeah.
Lord. Take them
Hey,
to
and
church.
I see JR's got one more question down there about, he says, when I do a traveling podcast, we schedule 10 live events a year. Do you all believe that diminishing, or should I do my lives? And I'm going to tell you, I would be doing those lives because I think the technology is making it easier.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, Substack alone with the app, and the ability to go front to back with your camera while you're live. I mean, that's the sort of stuff I'm doing more of. Where before I was like, oh, it's really hard to do something when you're traveling. But the way the technology is evolving, I mean, shout out to Shure with like the MV7 Plus, where you can just plug it in USB, and you know you don't have to bring as much gear now to go live. I mean, I got a hotspot that's meant to be a hotspot, not my phone, just so I
Mm-hmm.
can have Wi-Fi in spots instead of relying on other people's Wi-Fi, because a lot of times it's garbage. So I think it's definitely. I would encourage it, and I think that's actually makes a differentiator for you if you're able to do
Mm-hmm.
that and become successful at it.
Jared, do
Good stuff.
the lives. Do the
Yeah.
lives. You're
Doing live.
everywhere. You travel everywhere. You do a lot of photos. So now you can just convert that into doing more video clips.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Do it. Because I know you are all over the place, bruh. So you need to leverage that. A lot of people don't move out of their walk-in closet.
Come on
You're
now.
everywhere. So you need to leverage that being out in the world and do video
And
everywhere
if you
you go.
don't have, yeah, and if you don't have Wi-Fi, just record it and then publish it as if it was live later.
Oh, so
Don't
there's no
make that
excuse.
excuse.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no
Mhm.
excuse.
Hey, the DJI Pocket 3 was on sale for Black Friday. Did you get
Oh no,
I just
I'm
sold
waiting for
one.
the 4. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for
Hey,
the
I got
4.
up early this
That's
morning because
why
I thought the
the 3
4 was coming. Okay, see, there we go.
that's why
Squirrel
the 3
moment.
was on sale though. Hey, I'm all for a bargain. Let's get a bargain up in this
You
piece
should have
because I
told me
got
did you want one? I just
no,
sold
I
one.
have one.
Okay.
I have one. I'm good on that. But I do want the 4.
I'll let you
But I
know
have
because
a 3.
I get up early in the morning again. I thought it was going to be released this morning. I was up ridiculously early. It don't make no sense.
Hey,
No.
holla at your girl.
Listen, I'm sending you text messages. So let's do this, folks. Here's the deal. And my analogy just came in my head, and I got to come up with another one. RK, Robert, if you still here, the analogy that I use, and maybe Robert can help me with a better one. we like crack dealers.
Is that the analogy?
But we like crack dealers. We gave y'all a little bit. Y'all got what you wanted, but you want to come back because you want some more. But I need a new analogy, man.
Oh,
Pray,
boy.
y'all pray for me. But that's the idea.
Pray for him.
Get deeper into these conversations. Book a session with Tanya. Book a session with Jim. Book a session with my other co-hosts. You can book a session with me as well. But we're gonna shoot it to you straight, and we're gonna encourage you to get out of your own way and go do the thing. Go out there and take those videos. Go out there and do the lives. Improve your production, improve your content delivery, improve your microphone and your camera presence, all of those things. I will put all the links up. I think I've already got all the links in the description to everyone's channels and communities and things of that nature, so you can continue to have those discussions. We do these lives so you can see how personal we are and how real of people that we are, and then you can engage with us and have a business transaction as well moving forward. It's not just about the transaction, it's about connecting with folks, and hopefully we have done that tonight again here on the Tek'na.le.gist Forum. Jim, say what you got to say, and then Tanya, take us home.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to get to spend time with you two amazing people, and I always look forward to it. And maybe next time I'll read the questions if you make it.
Almost said so.
I'll also say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, because I think our next show together will be after that. So I know it's a little early, but I'll go ahead and say it anyway.
Good man.
And I'm just going to say that I am not promising to read the questions because I like our banter. I'm not going to promise that. I'm just not committed to the questions. But I do love this so much. I love that we get to do this. I'm 2026. I may try to sign up for another one too, so I can be on 2 of your shows, 2 of your forums. I don't know. We'll see. But the only other thing I'll say, folks, if you've been listening, watching, please give some kudos to Mr. James Hicks. He is really on top of everything. He's the cutting edge. He's the person he's like my go-to. If something new is coming out, whether it's a platform or a device, I mean, you name it, he's looped in. He's very connected. And so I listen to him. So definitely make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you like this video. Stay tuned for everything that he puts out there, because he is sincere and genuine, and he pulls people like me and Jim and Chris Stone and Florence and like a whole lot of people. We're all in the space because we love him and we believe in what he's doing. So I just wanted to give you your flowers to let you know that we do appreciate you setting up this platform for us to be able to have fun and connect.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you, Dr.
Even if we're not reading the questions ahead
you won't read these questions next time. I tell you what, but for right now, I'm gonna go cry in the car. You know, my old line from Friday.
There's gonna be a quiz. There'll be a quiz in the green room. Did you read the questions? No, maybe not getting on the show.
There's gonna be some action items in Notion in a couple of hours. Listen, y'all, if y'all found value in this, let me know. If you did not find value in this, let me know. We will see you next time. And if we don't connect before, have a great holiday and take care of yourself. We out.